What's the daily habits or something just people generally everyone can do so they can have a day better, their life gets better? What's the couple of things that everyone should do?
One thing that I recommend is to start day with gratefulness. Write 5 things that you're grateful for right now, today, and 5 things that you want to happen in your life. But write them down in present tense. And why?
Welcome to Third Generation Americans podcast, where we had the privilege of hosting Milica Ristic, leadership and mindset coach. In today's conversation, we'll delve into the world of personal development, self-discovery, and the profound insights Milica has to offer. Mili, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you. Tell me, when I say American dream, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Ooh, American dream. Better life and dreaming big. That's what first comes to mind. We come from the country that it's not, people forget to dream. And parents teach us to not dream, like to be happy where you're at and, don't dream big, and dreams are not, you cannot realize them. They're not possible. But that's what first come to mind. Yeah.
So
dream big.
How did it change when you came here? You had a dream before coming here, and then when you came here, did it change?
Honestly, I always had a dream to work with Americans, as I was not good with my English in high school. And I always knew that I'm going to learn English working with Americans. I didn't know what I'm going to do, where I'm going to be, but I always knew I'm going to work with them and I'm going to learn English like this.
Was it difficult in the beginning?
Oh, yeah. It was I'm not going to say difficult, but it was challenging and also was funny. When you translate directly their words with our language, they don't make any sense. So yeah, that's funny, but
you have to put things in a context, just not directly translating stuff. But it takes a while until you get better at anything. You used to come here, you're trying to learn things, you want to do this, you want to do that. You have a lot of dreams, a lot of desires. So after you came here, you knew about life coaching. You knew about that, or when did the first time you heard about it, and then you're like, okay, I want to do this?
Honestly, I kind of was following experts in this field, like Bob Proctor, Carnegie, Napoleon Hill. I was reading about them.
Books.
Yeah, and I was following Bob's videos on YouTube, Tony Robbins, but I was not fully kind of ready to jump into this field, and I didn't know that will be my call. And when I came here, I started, it's a funny story, but I was working with promoters. And then I was working in a very high-end Italian restaurant in New York, in Midtown. And then from there, I worked in corporate world. I was business development director in interior design firm for commercial real estate market. And I just burned out there, and I felt a calling to change the field, to help other people, and literally, I Googled how to find purpose in life, and I landed on Bob Proctor's website, and I signed up for his seminar. I was glued to laptop. I was streaming it. He had a seminar in LA, and I streamed it to New York. And I was like 3 days glued to my laptop. I'm like, oh my God, this man, whatever he says, that's me. I realized who I really am and who we are as human beings, why we are here on the universe, like what's the point of life and all that, right? And this kind of speak to my soul. So I decided to see him live in LA.
Walking through that moment, we all want to change, but no one wants to change when things are going good. So there's that quote I love, heard it recently, good life is the enemy of the best. So when you want to have a best life or good life, or you're just feeling miserable at some moment, you're deciding you want to change. Walk me through that when you're like, okay, this is not working out, this is not good. What's your train of thought? And it's like, okay, I have to change something.
There are many reasons why people change. Usually people change when it's emotional impact, and that is when something bad happens. Like I burned out, that's one reason, right? Or somebody dies in your family and you're like, okay, wow, look at life is so short. Like let me do, what I can do. It's sad to say that, but usually people, when they touch the floor, they decide to change. But doesn't have to be like that. I'm constantly, when you're in this, I would say this is another world when you start working on yourself and you're conscious and when you're aware, you constantly change. The change is your new norm, and then life becomes more exciting.
It should be like that.
You're satisfied, right? You are satisfied with what you have and where you're at, but you want to grow more, you want to expand, because the purpose of all of us here in this universe, it's really to grow, expand, help others, so yeah.
So people have issues, so they come to you. What's the most common problem they have and things they ask first? Okay, what's the most common stuff that's being asked to you, and you're asked, I need help with this?
So people who come to me, they're tired of the same routine, and they want to change something. They want to big dream or realize their dreams, but they're afraid, and they don't know what to do first, where to go. That's one type of the client, let's say, that I have. Then another client is that they're very successful. They earn lots of money. They have wonderful families. Really, like when you look from the outside, everything is fine, perfect, like just people to admire, right? But then they feel empty within. They don't feel fulfilled. And one of the clients told me, he said, Mili, if you can help me to have this passion for life and zest and that joy for life again, like that's it. I'm all in.
So there's different kind of people, but I guess I assume that's the minority of people. They're successful and they're trying to even get better or trying to organize their life, because a lot of people think you gotta make money, it's all gonna be fine. But then you get people who have money, and you see that it's not fine in the end.
It's not about objects. It is to some point, but then if you don't really know who you are again as human being, what makes you happy, what is it that you really, really want to do besides your work and all that? What makes you, like these simple things, enjoying. People take little things for granted.
Every day,
every single day, every single moment, right? So basic going to the basics, Yeah, these are kind of, as you said, minority, but most of the people that come to me, they're like, okay, I really want to change. If I'm doing the same thing over and over again, I'm getting the same results, right? Nothing is working. What should I do? Where I need to start? So, and also, I work a lot with business owners and female business owners, and these are the people who always strive to be better, to do better, to grow, and help also their team members do the same.
You mentioned that some people want to change, but I'm too old, or there's no such thing as that. No. That's what I believe. No. So what do you advise to them, and what's the difference from men and women when you're advising them? Is there any difference?
Men, a little bit. There's a little bit difference. Men are simpler than women. Women, we think a lot. Men are, like I always love to say, is it yay or it's nay? So, yes or no. There's, you guys are very simple.
So easier to help.
Easier to help, yeah.
But is it so? I mean, work-life balance, or people not satisfied with their jobs, not satisfied with their family. I imagine what kind of issues they come to you with. So you have to work on every single case separately, right? I call it case. I assume everyone's different. It's like, but it also, it's a lot of people have problems with anxiety, depression. You know, what I know is there's mentors, there's life coaches, there's psychologists, there's different kinds. So you can help with certain things, but certain things you can do. So can you explain the difference between those three things, like mentors, life coaching, and psychologist?
Yeah. So I'm not a life coach. I'm a mindset coach. Mentors are people who are experts in certain areas and they went through a lot. So now, by their example, they're showing their mentees or guiding them through business questions, challenges, life challenges, and all that through their examples. Right.
So, and mindset, some mindset coaching and life coaching. So mindset, people, how hard is it to change mindset? You know, you're born with certain predispositions, and then you have to change that. You grow through your life, you change your way of seeing things and doing stuff. How difficult is to change that? How long does it take? You're not gonna change it overnight or over a couple of lessons or a couple of books. It takes a long time.
It is a journey, I'll tell you that. And exactly, we are all raised in a certain way and programmed in a certain way. And this unconscious mind or subconscious mind guide us through life, basically. You do things automatically that you don't even think about it. And you respond or react to certain things that you don't think about it because just the way how you're programmed, how your parents teach you, how, the culture that had the influence on you, school, you change a little bit, you tweak that, but foundation, who you really are, is that, the certain program that you have. And when you come to work with me, we start with changing of your beliefs. Or, what is that actually limits you to move forward? What are the beliefs that you are not even aware of them? And we find them.
What are examples of beliefs?
For instance, a belief that you cannot be successful because you failed many times previously.
You're doubting yourself.
You're doubting, yeah, but you're doubting because you don't have belief in yourself. So there is a limiting belief, right? So we change that. And sometimes you can change belief in a second. And I'll tell you how.
Something opens your mind. Right?
So for instance, I know lots of people who, let's say, watch documentary about the meat and they get disgusted about it and they decide, okay, I'm not eating meat anymore, right? And they change their belief. Or sugar. Like when you read about sugar or listen about sugar and, you change that very, very quickly. So you change your beliefs and you reprogram your mind either this way or by repetition and by, working with a coach like myself. And it is a journey, but it's funny and easy and yeah, it's beautiful because you're discovering yourself. And why do you behave the way you behave? Why do you have in your life similar or the same situations that happen to you in business or in relationships or, and it's really beautiful. When
you get to see them, you get to see their patterns of behavior.
Exactly.
They're explaining all the stories. So
That's
how many people ask you for help and they actually manage to work on themselves and actually change themselves? Everyone stays with the program. A lot of people know this is too much for me. What's the percentage? You got any ratio? Like how many people actually succeed in changing themselves after wanting to change?
All of them.
All of them.
They succeed. Yeah, they succeed to change. And if I see that you are not coachable, we're not gonna continue working together.
Not everyone's coachable, and you can't work with everyone. There's different personalities,
well,
different people,
that
different
is
energies.
right.
You have to match, so you
That
can
is
actually
right.
help someone. All if they were ready to change.
But I'll tell you something. People who come to me, they're not only interested to change and to achieve their dreams and, become better people, because there's a difference between being interested and being committed. My clients are committed.
You
when
get
you
them
are
to be committed, or
Sorry?
you get them to be committed, or
No,
they just came committed?
no, they come committed because they're very motivated, right? So what is the difference? When you are interested, you're doing, whatever. When you're committed, you do whatever it takes, right? You follow instructions, you follow up, you always show up on calls, and then you have amazing, tremendous results.
Give me one of the most success stories you have. One story, for example, that you would like to share. Then someone asks you, tell me about it.
I love to share about one of my clients, and his name is Brett. Brett hired me or started working with me when he already had a business coach, right? So he was director in Equinox in New York, and he was very into fitness, and he wanted to open his coaching firm, but to do the fitness coaching, right? Or trainer, to be a fitness trainer. And he also lived with his stepmom, his wife mother, right? And he had 2 little kids, and they lived 3 or 4 years with this woman. So his dream was personal, to buy an apartment or house for his family and move out. And professional was to open his own firm. I always love to say fire his boss, right? And open his firm and have a profitable business. So in less than 5 weeks, he was so motivated, asking million questions, always showing up, following up. In less than 5 weeks, he opened his own company. He got 3 clients already, and he was looking for apartment for him and his family.
So yeah, if someone is into rush mode, you can do it in 5 weeks. Also.
You can do it in 5 weeks. Yeah. He didn't close the apartment, in 5 weeks, but he already found a place where he wants to live. And then, that takes time. And now he's so successful. He does the same as me. He stopped being a fitness trainer because he loves this.
He's into taking your job now. It's good to see someone actually taking that path.
Listen, we are not. Yeah, we are all different, and
There's too many people doing everything.
We all have different energies.
There's a lot of people that need help. So
that
any
is
kind
right.
of help.
Yeah,
so
we need more of me there in the world.
There is
honestly.
a lot of customers for everything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So how does it take its toll? I mean, you're talking to a lot of people. It takes a lot of energy. No one's coming. I assume no one's coming happy to you. They need help. If people need help, they assume they have some kind of issue, and they present that issue to you. How does that affect you?
I'm very happy that I am able to help them.
But it takes a lot. I assume it takes a lot out of you, because you're trying to help. If you feel accomplished after you do it, but it's a lot of things to work with.
It is. But I know how to, as I work a lot on myself, I know how to balance my energies and how to, feel empathy, but still stay calm and still stay aligned. So it's
you learn how to cope with it after.
That's right.
After
oh,
so
yeah.
long.
Oh,
But the sense of accomplishment, I guess it's a boost. you feel amazing after you manage to help someone. And you see the results, and the results continue to happen. You can pay attention to it, and so it's all worth it.
It's a psychic income. That's how I call it. That's the
currency.
It is, yeah. Yeah, when you think about yourself and your friends, and when you really dive deep into what really makes you really happy, what is that? When we as human beings, we all want to help somebody,
So yeah, definitely. We're forgetting that, but it really does wonders for us So let's say if you meet Millie from when you came to US and she needed help and she needed guidance, what would be the suggestion for her to coach her?
You mean from now to go back? What I would do, or what?
Yeah, you meet Millie that came to the United States first day, and you meet her and can ask you for advice. What advice would you offer her?
That's a good question. Well, when I think about Millie when she came here, I would tell her, don't be. I don't know actually. I would tell her, start working on yourself and be conscious, because there are many mistakes that I did unconsciously, that I was paying price for them like 3 years after or 4 years after. So yeah, I would definitely tell her to start working on herself.
But the thing is, I mean, where you're from, and people don't talk about that.
No, nobody teaches this. That's
So
why
it's a
I
lot.
love this. Yes.
So, you know,
love
coming here, then you'll get to learn all these things. So it would be way easier if someone's coming here, so you can actually start doing it as soon as you get here. But it takes time figuring new things out. It's a whole new world out here. Everything you need to learn, new language, new culture, people, jobs. You come here mostly with no experience, you know, in your 20s. So it takes a lot.
Yeah, it takes time. It takes time and takes right advice, right people to surround yourself with, and, you know, just making the right decisions and right moves from the start.
Yeah, that's what matters. You see long term. You make some moves right now, then long term you see all the benefits from doing that.
That is right.
So, and I mean, you're giving help to a lot of people. So let's say you have friends and they want to get better. So they don't want to officially start working with you, but like, give me a couple of things, couple of pointers. What should I do like tomorrow? Just tomorrow, a couple of things so I can get better. Everyone likes a shortcut. You know, you're trying to talk about the process, but process is 5 seconds. Tell me now. I want to do it. I want to change tomorrow.
You know, when I started in this industry, I was just when friends started complaining or something, and I would give them advice without them asking me, because I felt like responsible. I have to give them. And then I realized, well, this person is just complaining. They don't want to do anything about it. It's just like, you know, like, stop doing that. So I realized my pattern and I stopped doing that. I stopped giving advices to people who are not ready for it. You need to be ready to hear advice too, right? But for people who are ready to hear it, and I'll tell you, when I moved to Miami, I did one experiment, and recently I was talking with somebody about it. It's interesting that you asked me this question. And I said, okay, let me see. I'll give this exercise to 5 people and let's see who will follow up, right? So what I did, I spoke with 5 friends, and one was in a search for a new job. Another one wanted to make money in real estate. She's a real estate broker. Well, Americans, right? All of them Americans. Third one, she wanted to stop working in a restaurant business. She already has her own business, but she was not focused on that. So she wanted kind of to start earning money from her own business. She wanted to find a boyfriend and, you know, all these things. And then the other 2 doesn't matter. But example that from 5 of them, only 1 followed up. And the exercise was, I told her, what do you want your business to look like? Like, write down the script, write down everything in detail. How much money you want to earn? Who are the buyers of your services? Like, I told her, write me the script of everything. And I gave her some questions. I gave questions to everyone.
Goals, right?
Sorry?
Plans and goals.
Right, yeah. So she was the only one of them who got back to me, and I told her, send me the first draft of your script, because I can see if you're doing it right or no, right? So I can guide you. And she did. So I turned it back twice, and then I told her, okay, so now you start this live script that you wrote, record it and listen to it, you know, before you go to bed and in the morning. So after a month, one thing started happening after another, after third, after fourth. Even now, when you see her, like just a week ago, she told me, Millie, live script. So she manifested life that she wanted with, you know, private and also professional, just because she following the advice. But not only that, when you follow this advice, you clear your mind. And you know exactly the direction where you're going, because your mind can trick you. Like, you can lose day just like that, like not doing anything, or you can really be proactive and just working on what you really want to achieve or what you want to manifest. You know, and I'll tell you something. What is the hardest thing for people? The hardest thing is to think. to sit down and think and not be distracted with phone, not be distracted with neighbor, whatever, or just to be focused and create what you want.
I mean, there's the Serbian quote I love. What kind of thoughts you have, that's your life. So if you focus on your thoughts and it's just also sitting in your room by yourself, not doing anything. I don't think no one can do that more than 5 minutes without music playing. You said the phone. It's too many distractions, But also, some people don't want to change. They refuse. They don't even acknowledge they need to change. So, but if you don't want to change, you cannot change. You have to you have to have a desire, like we spoke earlier. So that's definitely the case. But some people want to change other people's lives. Like you said, giving advice for someone who doesn't want to listen to. And you got to stop talking to them. If it takes a lot of your energy, you want to help, you go, especially because you're friends, so you care for them, but they reject your advice. So it's hard to stay away, But some people want to change others' lives, but they don't want to change themselves. So they think by fixing someone else.
Yes, but that's not possible. You cannot fix anybody else but yourself. And first, you need to start from yourself.
And you have, not to fix you, we're never perfect. You got to fix you. We're going to work on it every day. And then you get to help someone. What's your advice if someone decides, okay, I want to be a mindset coach, I want to help other people, or what's your advice to them if they want to get into that? What would you first thing you say?
Great. Welcome. I always say, welcome to my world. Yeah.
But should they do it? What should they think about before they start getting into the profession? Is there any advice on that part?
Dive deep into yourself first. First thing is that I would not give them advice. I would ask them a million questions.
Give me 3 questions. 2 or 3 questions. Something short.
Yeah. You know the movie, The Matrix? Yeah. I always love to say this, and I say it to my clients all the time when they join me in this journey. When Neo goes to this guy and he gives him red and blue pill, which pill you want to choose? That's what I say. Do you want red or blue pill? If you take red pill, we are going, deeper into the rabbit hole. Or if you take the blue pill, you go back home and wake up in the morning, everything is the same. So what do you want? So be ready for this. When you take a red pill, be ready for a new world, which is beautiful, but...
It is, but it takes a lot of things you got to go through until you get to the beautiful part, And you have to always work on it, because when you start, it just doesn't. It's beautiful and it's end of the road. No, it's not.
It's not. No, you know how they say when you finish school just started. You never.
But just a ticket to start working and doing something.
Exactly, it's like when you go to school, you finish school, you're never. You just started. So it's the same thing, but it is. It's more beautiful world than this one that you see. Trust me.
What's the daily habits or something just people generally, everyone can do so they can have a day better, their life gets better? What's the couple of things that everyone should do?
One thing that I recommend is to start day with gratefulness. Write 5 things that you're grateful for right now, today, and 5 things that you want to happen in your life, but write them down in present tense. And why I suggest this is because, I don't know if you know about Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe Dispenza says your personality is your personal reality. So what does that mean? When you wake up in the morning, you're waking up with the same thoughts, with the same problems from yesterday, the day before yesterday, from week before, and you bring them to your present moment, right? You just woke up. So when you write 5 things that you're grateful for every single day, you set your day on a positive vibration with positive energy, and you really realize how much you have already, right? Because people usually don't. Again, we take ourselves for granted. We take our successes for granted. We don't go back and remember that. Like you take your eyes for granted. Like there are people who don't see. There are these things. Like you can find. Like I can find right now in this moment 20 things that I'm grateful for. Not 5. So setting up your mind and your energy in this positive vibration, it's a great start of the day. And every single day, you need to remind yourself. Usually, it's again, I love to call them youngsters, these, young people in their 20s. I love you guys, but they compare, well, I would say maybe everybody compares themselves with other people who are successful, and like, why I don't have this, why I don't have that, oh, look at me, look at where I'm now, like, you always look for something that you don't have. How about you sit in the morning 5 minutes while you're having your coffee or your tea, right, and think about what you have and be grateful for it.
I mean, what would I do that if I had my Instagram to open as soon as I open my eyes and scroll for like 30 minutes and you get all the things that I don't care about and I don't need and I think I want, and then you just have coffee, then you're like, your mind is, then you have a headache after that.
Yes.
Most people start the day like that.
Of course, they open the phone. Yeah,
it's tough. You got to get out of the phone. It's really confusing. It's really too. And even in the morning, everyone when you wake up, why people drink coffee so they can wake up. And Instagram's not helping you wake up. So that's why. But if you're doing both, if you just hang out by yourself with your thoughts, at least for half an hour, whatever it is, so you can actually wake up and take all the, even before going to bed. If you're on your phone, you're sleeping, you're dreaming about the things you've seen before you go to bed. So that's that. Hygiene,
exactly. That's what I teach my clients, to have disciplined mind. But that's also, it's not only mind, it's connected with your feelings, with your emotions, and your actions,
Yeah, it's heart, soul, and mind. That's three. You got to keep them all
together,
all aligned, so you can, everything can work for you. So so
that is right.
Let me ask you, when were you the most happiest in your life? Give me a happy moment. See, that's what I'm asking, because that's how when someone trying to think when it was. No, it should be now, every moment, because happiness comes and goes. So you should be trying to be happy every moment. So right now you came here to do this voluntarily, so you're happy. You came to do something that you like, so that means a lot. So and helping others, as someone, you're talking to someone in Serbia, and people have different mindsets and different stuff. How. Tell me, I mean, you go there and then you see the different culture, different people. So what do you miss the most from back home, having in US?
I miss my family, and that pure love, I would say.
Love you don't have to work for.
Unconditional love and that hospitality and warmth, and people are so welcoming, and it's different. Very different than here.
Yeah, and
people are simple, simpler. Like just also this movie, Eat, Pray, and Love, when Julia Roberts goes to Italy.
I think I know. Yeah, that's.
And she's like, beauty of doing nothing. She was practicing beauty of doing nothing.
So we do that without even having know how. We're born with that feat, so you know how to enjoy life with it.
So true, and that life is too short. Life is too short. So I would say that's what I miss the most. That simplicity and joy, not happiness. Joy and happiness are different.
Way
to be joyous all the time, it's something that most of people are not.
And you have that at home. You hold unconditional love. Life is not perfect. There's other things that are not good, and then you come here most of the times by yourself. And you're trying to figure out a lot of other stuff, and then you miss your parents, you miss your family, you miss all that, and then you encounter new problems. So a lot of people sink into depression, anxiety, and then depression later on if they don't work on their problems. So everyone goes through that. Everyone goes through at least a minute a day, 2 minutes, someone's an hour, someone days. So what should they do? How do you manage to cope with that? What's the advice?
Just acknowledge it. Okay, it is what it is right now. It's not good. I used to, when I didn't work on myself, I would say not pretending, but well, I can use this word actually, pretending that I'm strong, that, nothing can shake me. My father died. Okay, let's move on. I didn't cry enough. I didn't, sat down and really cry. And
holding you within.
Exactly, right?
I was trying to show the perfect picture to the world.
Yeah, not to the world, to myself. But when you're in these situations, yeah, okay, this is what I do now. I say, okay, this is what it is. Let me, go through this. And then the beautiful thing is when you work on yourself, you know what it is, why this happened, the reason why that happened. And then you quickly shift into another side. You know how to shift your thoughts and you know how to shift your feelings. But you need to go through this. Is it a day or it's, some people, let's say I know some people that their parent died and they're still like 5 years, they're still coping with it. And they're still. So
And it drags on. You can't get out of it. Some things are still, and if you're still facing the demons from the past or whatever it is, then you have to live in today and think about the future, and you get lost. It's a lot of things to digest, and you have to go through it. You can't even explain it, so you can know, how to start working on yourself. If you actually think about start working on yourself, you've been through some stuff because you have a problem and you have to deal with it. And then you start because, and also, you don't even know you have a problem. Then you tell someone, and someone actually guides you. Tells you, okay, listen to this book, listen to this person, do something. Because you think you're fine, but everyone sees others, your friends, or you're not. So, and it's about learning. You got to learn. It takes time. It takes years, for everything.
I love to say you don't know what you don't know. Just be open-minded, and if somebody tells you, if you ask for advice and somebody gives you advice, just listen and follow the advice. Don't be closed-minded.
But even someone trying to help, what was that quote? We're more hardwired for negative emotion than positive. So when someone brings something negative, we're sink in. Positive, it gets to it later. But I think we forget bad things. I don't think we should forget, because you're thinking, oh, I always remember bad stuff. No, you don't. It's so many bad things happen to you, but you don't remember them. But positive things, they stay with you later on. You always remember those stuff. And so you got to surround yourself with good people, good friends, and co-workers, whoever it is, because that's a lot of your energy, and you got to make sure that's nice and good to have.
To have a support system, yeah.
That's an outside support system, but you even if people are introverted, they don't like people, but they still need someone, not everyone.
Everyone needs someone.
But something they think, I just want to have two dogs, two cats, and I'll be fine, but that doesn't work like that. It might help to a point, but you have any hobbies? People are working, okay, I want to change my life, I want to get more money, I want to get this, I need a boyfriend, I need a girlfriend, I want to do something. You get something, but you have to do something outside of that for your soul, for your mind. Right. What are your hobbies? What do you do outside of this work and life issues that we're talking about?
I have lots of fun, trust me.
How important is that? How important is that?
It's very important. Yeah. My what I do actually, it's very fulfilling for me. So it's kind of like kind of hobby and work at the same time. So I don't even see it as a job, because this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I love to do, and this makes me happy. So really, and besides of that, and also the all books that I read are all about it, personal development and energy and mind and spirituality and universe and all that beautiful things. But besides, I love to bike. I bike a lot. I love to go to the beach for a sunrise, sunset. I do organize surprises to my friends, I do also do Pilates. I love that. I don't know. There are many things.
There are many things, but also it comes from the good spot when you're doing things that you love, which is really important. It's not easy, only 1% of people actually doing things that they love. And then when you're not after work, you're like, oh, I'm so drained, I hate this. And then you get home, how are you going to focus on it? You're just going to eat some bad food and go to sleep, watch Netflix or whatever it is. So, that's really important. And where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Ooh.
if you think that far, or 1 year, 2 years.
I do.
Short-term, long-term plans.
Yeah. Well, professionally, I see myself having a non-profit organization. And because I have also lots of friends all over the world who are in my field, and I want to have this non-profit organization and coaches who will teach this material in schools. That's what we just mentioned. Nobody talks about it in the school, and it's very important. High schools, mid schools, universities, to have subjects on who they really are, why it's important to have disciplined mind, to what decisions are, how you can make decisions, why is that important, making decisions, goals, what type of the goals, also the energy, how, like, universal laws. There are universal laws that nobody talks about it. I mean, we learn in physics, but we don't really know how to practically use them, in this physical world. So yeah, there are many, many things. But I really see myself, and also working with big organizations who are doing the same, partnering with them, and yeah.
Thank God we have internet with different kind of connection. Earlier, you just had school. You have to get a teacher to go to school to teach that,
Yeah.
and there was that thing such as this never existed. And even in the future, I don't think it's trying to get into school and teach people how to live good life. I don't think that's good. I mean, I know it's great, but they're not letting that happen.
No, it's not about living a good life. It's about first knowing yourself. As you said like a couple of minutes ago about, we were talking about anxiety and these challenges. Well, it's beautiful when you know where this anxiety comes from. What makes you to have this
because
feeling?
there's some trigger for that. There's something you got to find.
Well, your thoughts. Your thoughts on your conscious level, you're thinking negative thoughts, and on the subconscious level, your thoughts makes you to feel fear. When you're in fear, your body, it's anxiety, and it's in disease. It's not in ease. So there are two parts of it, right? Either you have fear or you're in faith. Both of them are invisible. So on which side you want to be? When you're ignorant and when you don't know yourself. People think that they know themselves. Well, you don't. We don't really know ourselves. We are much, our minds, our subconscious mind is so big that we don't really know what is there until you start working on yourself.
And you get
that's why that's important.
You get to see how much stuff is out there. What I learned, if you're asking for help, trying to find some persons, or let's say today's motivational videos, books, podcasts, whatever resonates with you. For me, it was all the persons when everyone recommends, and I go to it and I listen to it, and I'm like, okay, this is not for me. And I was like, something is rejecting me. I don't want to hear this. And I needed to hear that. Then I go back again. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, no, this is my brain is saying, no, we don't need this information. Keep this. And I do it again because I know it's good. Everyone's saying it's good. So it has to have at least some value for me. It doesn't have to be. And after like third, fourth time, I'm years into that person or that thing I was, and it's helping me immensely. So it's whatever is mostly you're like, your brain saying, no, don't do it. That's the best thing for you.
In that moment, next time you want to ask yourself, why am I rejecting this? When you ask yourself a question and then you start journaling on it, and you'll get lots of answers there, trust me.
Yeah,
that's one tip for you.
Yeah, that's the... So tell me, there's something else we missed? Something you want to touch upon?
Yes, there is a very exciting moment right now that I'm working on, the project. I am launching academy that it's coming up beginning of next year for female business owners, and it's called Female Fatale Academy, where 10 weeks I coach on inner transformation, and I bring other experts who are gonna coach on outside transformation. So we take kind of like a wholeness for you to really immerse yourself in working on yourself and get really, really good results professionally and personally. So I do have breath work teacher. Why is that important? I am esthetician. I do have nutritionist. I do have a stylist who will come talk about executive style, and love your body coach, amazing coach and a friend that I know. So lots of different things.
New projects, new things you're working on, and you're helping people, trying to bring different aspects for you learn.
Yeah.
You don't even know. I mean, I'm always learning something new. If you, let's say I'm talking to you, there's new things like coaching, different stuff. You don't even know. You're thinking coaching. You need a coach in the gym, and you don't need a coach for everything else. You know, I mean, of course, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot to open up and actually share the problems and look for someone and come to someone and ask for help, because that's not easy.
Well, yeah, it's not easy. I know. When I sign up with Bob Proctor, I actually am certified with in Bob Proctor's Academy, and when I signed up for his second event, when I went to LA to see him live, and there were questions, right? And one of the questions was, "What did you do for your personal development?" I didn't know even what that means. What? So I wrote down, well, I finished university, and I wrote down I left my country, and I'm like, and then when I got into this world, I'm like, oh my God, look at these answers. But you don't know what you know. I didn't really know what exactly
But you know how to
personal
specify
development
like
is.
No one ever asked you that. So
Yeah,
when you get to
nobody
encounter something new, you have to learn what is that. And you write down a paper. Then actually, you don't know how scary it is until you write it down. Let's set your goals and write things down. Okay, I want to do this in 3-4 months. What I did last couple of years. When you put it on paper, having in your head thoughts come and go. They come. You think, oh, it's fine. You just okay, another thought. It's fine. You just forget about it but it's still staying there. You just collect those bad thoughts, and it's fine, and then it hits you. But when you write on paper, I mean, sometimes I look at the goals I set out on the paper. I wrote stuff down. I'm like, oh my God. I look at the paper. I just close it down. Feel embarrassed for a second. I'm like, this is what I wrote, what I wanted. And I was like, I said high stuff, but some things I'm like, okay, this should have been done better. And I look at it, but every time I was like, okay, look at it again. And then I'm looking at the paper, I'm rereading it. I was like, why is nothing happening? But I still try to do it tomorrow. And you need that reference point to look at something. People put on the wall, whatever you want in the bathroom, whatever you want to do, you have to, because if it's somewhere on the shelf, you're not going to care.
You're going to forget about it. And exactly, like you want to remind your mind every single day, right?
Yeah.
Where your focus goes where your energy flows. No, your energy flows where your focus goes. So
it's
you
hard
you want to train your mind on what you really want, because it's human, and our mind always takes us by autopilot where he wants to go, right? So that's why it's important to have discipline and to know.
That's
what
mine. I always like to say it's two persons. You have a life on left and right shoulder. It's two persons. Like, let's go to the gym. Oh no, it's fine. You're tired. And then they negotiate. It's like, who's talking? And they always a person on the left, like, don't go to the gym, usually wins. I mean, but he's not supposed to. So I'm always trying to listen to the person on the right shoulder.
Good, that's good.
But it's just working on those, because some people don't even hear the other person. It's just like voice is so low, like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
But who's talking? I always wonder who's talking inside. You know, who's arguing? Who's negotiating? Who's like, sometimes you more people talking in the back. There's music playing in the background, and it's a lot of, you can't even get your train of thoughts in order. But your phone is, at least for me, phone is a distraction. I took my Instagram out for a couple of months. I finished 3-4 big books I haven't finished in like 2 months. Mm-hmm. And after that, I brought it back. No books whatsoever. And I have books wherever I go in my apartment, they're everywhere. So if I look, I was like, it's a book there. So I know, okay, I feel bad if I don't read at least a couple of pages. But the phone is like, I have to leave it somewhere on the side. Because if it's there, you just grab it and you're scrolling through something.
It is
so you just got to leave it in the other room or something, you know. And also, you know, when we talk before bed and after bed, but whatever your distraction is, you gotta work on it. Mm-hmm. So tell me where people can find you.
I am on Instagram, Miller_coaching. I am on LinkedIn, Milica Ristic. I also have a website, www.millercoaching.com. I am also on Facebook, TikTok, so everywhere, I guess.
Please follow Mili. She's great. I had a great time talking to you. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you, guys. Please like and subscribe.